While HBO's Sharp Objects is an unmissable thriller miniseries for many reasons, it doesn't hurt that the show comes recommended by none other than Stephen King himself. Released in 2018, the miniseries Sharp Objects adapts author Gillian Flynn's debut novel of the same name as a taut, unsettling slice of Southern Gothic. While Flynn is best known as the author of Gone Girl, her debut novel predates that legendary psychological thriller by some years. Where Gone Girl's infamously twisty storyline was suffused with cutting satirical wit, Sharp Objects is an entirely darker, murkier novel. The plot of the book and miniseries concerns a string of gruesome murders. Amy Adams plays Camille Priaker, a journalist who struggles with self-harm and alcoholism even before she returns to her hometown to report on the grisly murder of some local teenage girls. There, Camille is met by her suffocating, manipulative mother and her creepy younger half-sister, as well as her own long-buried demons. HBO's Sharp Objects adapts a Gillian Flynn novel that Stephen King recommended. Edgy, brutal, and unpredictable, Sharp Objects is nastier than Flynn's later, more playful Gone Girl, and the TV adaptation of the novel makes the tone of the story even more oppressively bleak. From the moment Camille arrives in the town of Wind Gap, it is clear that she can't escape her past and her family. There's a driving sense of dread to this mystery series that can rival the first season of True Detective or even Twin Peaks at its darkest, anchored by an arresting central turn from Adams. Traumatized, troubled, and twitchy, her take on Camille is also brash and unexpectedly flirtatious. She's an entirely unpredictable character who strays far from conventional thriller heroines, and this only makes the mystery she is knotted up in more intriguing as it unravels. As such, it is hardly surprising to find out that horror legend Stephen King blurbed the original novel. Admirably nasty was what King called the book, and he also tweeted his thoughts on the HBO adaptation when the show was airing back in 2018. Flynn shared both his tweets about the series and his original blurb, and it's fair to say that the HBO miniseries did an incredible job of bringing the admirable nastiness of the source novel to life on screen. Even though viewers could watch the entirety of Sharp Objects in only 8 hours, the show has a painfully slow sense of mounting unease that makes the book seem fast-paced. In an ambitious and risky move, the show runs slower than the book, dwelling on Camille's unease upon her return home. Sharp Objects lived up to its source novel. The late great director Jean-Marc Vallée, who also helmed the TV adaptation of Big Little Lies, bounces between the present and the past to fill in the blanks of Camille's story. Here, the adaptation benefits from a superb performance by Sophia Lillis as the younger version of Camille, who is contrasted with her half-sister Amma. Played by Little Women star Eliza Scanlen, Amma is a disarmingly innocent-seeming teen whose exaggerated childishness masks something much more sinister. Scanlen masterfully bounces between seeming like a typical teenager who is merely messing with her older half-sister and someone truly disturbed, leaving readers unsure who to trust. Earning a score of 92% on Rotten Tomatoes, Sharp Objects managed to match the considerable acclaim heaped upon Flynn's debut novel upon its release 12 years earlier. The show was so successful that Flynn's second novel, Dark Places, is now set to be adapted as an HBO miniseries, even though the book already became a movie in 2015. Sharp Objects is a rare 10/10 HBO thriller series. Greenlit after the success of Gone Girl, that convoluted movie worked as a vehicle for star Charlize Theron but fell flat as a thriller. To be fair to the filmmakers, Dark Places remains Flynn's weakest novel, so it will be intriguing to see whether the Sharp Objects treatment is able to solve the underlying plot problems of the overstuffed mystery. Regardless of how that upcoming project pans out, Sharp Objects undeniably deserves the respect that both the book and the series earned from King. Fortunately for emerging authors, King has never been shy about shouting out the books that he enjoys, and he has recommended many 10/10 thrillers via X-posts and cover blurbs over the decades. However, even within that rarefied club, Sharp Objects is something special. Thanks to a killer twist ending that is even more disturbing in the TV show than it was in the source material, Sharp Objects is a rare thriller that doesn't stumble at the last hurdle. Instead, its taut, tense story feels as unpredictable and unsettling in the final minutes as it does in the opening episode. An easy recommendation for anyone who loves a good thriller, fans of Gillian Flynn, and anyone who trusts Stephen King's taste. Sharp Objects is a modern classic in the thriller genre.